No, the head of France's intelligence agency has not resigned. Claims that the head of France's domestic intelligence agency, Céline Berton, resigned emerged online and gained traction over the summer. Users relayed screenshots of an article which they alleged was published by French newspaper Le Monde in late July. Some posts on X garnered more than 200,000 views, while the allegations also appeared on LinkedIn posts and online blogs. Online users claimed Berton was forced to resign after the intelligence agency she helmed was found to have enabled illicit cryptocurrency operations, which eventually threatened the collapse of the euro. Users also alleged that these so-called untraceable funds could be used by the French state to crack down on protests, such as the mass demonstrations expected in the autumn. They based their claims on reporting by Le Monde and the AFP agency, but these screenshots of the article are fake. Neither media ever published these claims. Disinformation actors assert the article has since been suspiciously deleted, but Euroverify did not detect any evidence that Le Monde ever published this article. Céline Berton took office in January 2024 and has not resigned. Initially, when users clicked on the story on social media, it directed them to an online phishing scam. But over the course of the summer, the scam disappeared, with the fake news about Berton's resignation becoming the centerpiece. The disinformation was shared on the Kremlin-aligned Pravda network. It was also posted on a blog run by Frenchman Cyril Delattre, who lives in Russia and appears on Russian state TV as a commentator. This is not the first time that French intelligence services have been targeted by Russian disinformation campaigns. Céline Berton has previously spoken out about the threats that Russia poses to French democracy, as well as the need to question claims on social media.
Did Russia produce a leaflet to silence violent soldiers' wives? This photo, which is circulating virally online, claims to show a leaflet providing practical advice to Russian military wives beaten by their husbands. It tells women to refrain from speaking out, to mask bruises with makeup, and to consider how they provoked their husbands. It has prompted debate online about whether this is real or part of a propaganda campaign targeting Moscow. We investigated using reverse image searches and found that in early August, an almost identical leaflet was circulating purporting to come from the Ukrainian government. The texts on both leaflets are the same. Ukraine's Center for Countering Disinformation, which is a government agency, attributed the leaflet to Russian propagandists working to discredit the Ukrainian armed forces. It means that the exact same narrative was used initially to target Kyiv and then Moscow. It's plausible, therefore, that this most recent leaflet is the work of pro-Ukraine actors. It's been widely shared by pro-Ukraine bloggers. It carries the logo of the Moscow-based Academy of Communication, and the QR code links to this webpage of its Psychological Help Center. The page is no longer available, but archives show that on September the 2nd, it displayed the same advice as seen on the pamphlets. The center's director, Alena Cechulina, has since published this video on Telegram, claiming that the Academy's website was hacked and that false information was then published. In a statement, the Academy claims the false pamphlets were distributed to bloggers, and it requests that those responsible for the disinformation be brought to justice. We were unable to independently verify these claims, but the fact that an identical leaflet was first used to attack Ukraine suggests this could be a counter-campaign conducted by pro-Ukraine actors.
Is the EU about to start scanning your text messages? For years, claims have been circulating that the European Union wants to enable governments and private companies to read people's text messages as part of a planned law clamp down on online child sexual abuse. Recently, these claims have intensified, with users alleging the bloc will scan all encrypted messages, even as they're being typed, making users fear for their privacy. It's often referred to as chat control. But the idea that Europeans have to brace themselves for the immediate end of private messaging is misleading. The possibility of scanning private messages is part of this planned new law on child sexual abuse, and it is indeed being considered. But the Commission is proposing specific and limited detection orders. While there are legitimate concerns that this could spell the end of digital privacy as we know it, proponents insist that detection orders do not apply by default to everyone and would be limited in time and scope. They would also have to be requested by a national authority and then approved by a court or an independent authority. Secondly, the Commission's proposal is only the starting point. For the law to pass, the European Parliament and the Council of the EU both need to agree on exactly the same text, which has not happened yet. In fact, the Parliament has already voted for changes that go against broad scanning, especially for encrypted apps. And the Council is itself split. A majority of countries like France, Spain and Italy are in favour of strong scanning rules, while Austria, the Netherlands and Poland have said they will not accept them. Others, including Germany and Belgium, remain undecided. Because of this division, several planned votes have been delayed. A new one is now scheduled on the 12th of September, so there is a legitimate debate about whether this proposed law can tread the line between safeguarding children on one hand and ensuring online privacy on the other. But panic that the EU is about to immediately scan messages even before they're being sent is still premature.
¿Qué países de la Unión Europea ofrecen las ayudas escolares más generosas? Enviar a los niños a la escuela puede costar varios miles de euros. En toda la Unión Europea las ayudas revisten de distintas formas: becas, préstamos y subsidios para estudiantes y padres. Los alumnos de secundaria son los que más reciben, unos 1.766 euros anuales por cabeza, frente a solo 533 euros por alumno de secundaria, según los últimos datos de Eurostat. Detrás de esas medias, sin embargo, se esconden fuertes contrastes. Por ejemplo, Noruega y Dinamarca proporcionan las ayudas más elevadas de Europa, ambas por encima de los 8.000 euros anuales por niño durante la educación secundaria y los estudios superiores. En el otro extremo, Grecia, Croacia y la República Checa proporcionan las ayudas más bajas. ¿Y qué hay del gasto global en educación? Si se compara con el PIB, Croacia ocupa el último lugar con menos del 2%, seguida de Rumanía, Serbia y Turquía con alrededor del 3%. Mientras tanto, Suecia está a la cabeza de Europa con casi el 7%, seguida de Islandia y Bélgica con más del 6% y Finlandia y Dinamarca siguiéndoles muy de cerca.
¿Qué países de la UE utilizan más la publicidad en línea? Unas 3/5 partes de las empresas de Malta utilizan la publicidad en línea y casi la mitad de las empresas de Finlandia y Chipre, según los nuevos datos de Eurostat. Sin embargo, menos de 1/4 parte de las empresas utilizan la publicidad en línea en Rumanía, Polonia y Portugal. Por término medio, el 32,6% de las empresas de la Unión Europea utilizaron la publicidad en línea en 2024. No obstante, no se dispone de datos sobre varios mercados como los de Bélgica, Dinamarca, Estonia, Croacia, Italia, Luxemburgo, Austria y Suecia. La publicidad contextual, en la que las empresas se basan en información de las visitas de los usuarios o palabras clave, fue el método más común. Lo utilizaron 3/4 partes de las empresas encuestadas. El 44,3% de las empresas utilizó la segmentación geográfica. Esta técnica se basa en información geográfica como las direcciones IP para ofrecer publicidad basada en la ubicación. El tercer método más común, empleado por el 41,6% de las empresas, se basa en datos recogidos por las cookies a partir de actividades previstas en línea para adaptar los anuncios a los intereses y hábitos de los usuarios. ¿Tienen los europeos hábitos saludables? La salud y el bienestar siguen siendo la prioridad para los consumidores europeos. Alrededor del 28% de los europeos dice tomar medidas para llevar una vida sana, con objetivos como el bienestar mental, la prevención de enfermedades y mantenerse en forma. El estudio muestra que las diferencias generacionales determinan las preferencias. Los más jóvenes privilegian el bienestar, la forma física y la belleza, mientras que los mayores dan prioridad a la pérdida de peso y la prevención de enfermedades. El 66% de los consumidores europeos afirma dormir bien gracias al autocuidado, el ejercicio y el consumo de alimentos nutritivos. Los consumidores creen que una alimentación sana da prioridad a los alimentos frescos, la nutrición, el control de las porciones y la reducción al mínimo del picoteo. El estudio también reveló que un número creciente de consumidores europeos adopta hábitos de consumo consciente para cuidar el planeta, con un 28% que reutiliza productos y envases. Las tendencias de consumo muestran que los consumidores de 18 a 34 años cambian cada vez más su dieta por causas medioambientales, mientras que otros cultivan sus propios alimentos, compostan residuos orgánicos y reciclan. ¿Qué países de la UE tienen más escasez de personal sanitario? La Organización Mundial de la Salud prevé que faltarán más de 4 millones de trabajadores sanitarios de aquí a 2030. Los bajos salarios y las malas condiciones laborales son factores que se citan con frecuencia para el desajuste entre la oferta y la demanda. En 2023 había unos 3,7 millones de enfermeras y 172.000 matronas en ejercicio en la UE. Irlanda tenía más enfermeras por número de habitantes en la UE con 1.366, seguida de Finlandia con 1.262 y Alemania con 1.225 enfermeras por cada 100.000 residentes. Rumanía registró la proporción más baja con 100 enfermeras por cada 100.000 habitantes. Le siguieron Croacia con 252 y Grecia con 219 enfermeras. Lituania y Letonia fueron los únicos países de la UE en los que el porcentaje de enfermeras de 55 años o más superó el 40%. Por otra parte, los porcentajes más elevados de enfermeras jóvenes menores de 35 años se registraron en Croacia, Países Bajos, Malta y España.